kids enjoying the school? I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Minnie.
Today is July 4th, and we're on pages 10 and 11. It's day 2 of our Spotlight on Taiwan article called The Taiwan International Balloon Festival.
Yeah, July 4th 是不是国庆日啊？
That's right. That's America's Independence Day.
Do you know how to sing the American anthem?
Yeah, but it's a hard song to sing, honestly. It's not an easy song.
Yeah, it's like really disappointing. Yeah.
I can sing it for you. You'll be disappointed, not me.
How about like 10 seconds? Sing!
Okay,
Sing!
10 seconds? Oh, say, can you see through the dawn's early light?
Uh-oh.
Something. What's that line there? So it's a really old song, but this is a good point. I can't sing the full song without thinking about it. We sang it every day in school. It's a really old song, and it's hard to sing. So there you go. So I guess I failed. Oh, well. Minnie, bravo. Yeah. All right, but your husband's from Canada. Sing the old Canada theme.
Oh, Canada. Something like that.
Yeah, that's all the Americans know, too. But I will say, can I defend Canadians here? So I'm an American. Americans and Canadians often play hockey together, 曲棍球.
Oh.
And sometimes the speakers have a problem. So if the microphone has a problem and you can't hear the American singer singing the Guoga, the national anthem, the Canadians know the American national anthem and they will sing for the Americans.
Oh.
But if the Canadian song cuts out, the Americans are like, oh, Canada. And that's it. The Canadians are 真的比较友善.
Okay.
All right, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we got paragraph 1. Okay, friends, we're back with day 2 of our Taiwan International Balloon Festival. All right, let's go to our story. If you look at a hot air balloon, you will notice 3 main parts.
所以他说，如果你观察热气球，你会注意到3个主要的部分。
We notice something. That means we can pay attention to 3 main parts.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest part is called the envelope.
所以这边 envelope 不是信封哦，这边呢，它指的是最大的这个球体这个部分，它叫球皮 envelope.
Now, I say envelope in Taiwan, but growing up, I always said envelope with like on, like I'm on a bicycle. I don't know what most Americans actually say. It's a word that's from French, and so there's a lot of accent in it.
Oh.
Yeah. So 它是法文来的，你的口音会影响。So I say envelope 短义就很清楚。This is the beautiful portion. This is the beautiful part that looks like a balloon.
所以 portion 在这边老师刚刚有讲了，它另外一个字的用法就是 part 的意思。所以他说这个看起来呢像气球的美丽的这个部分。
The envelope is made of very strong nylon or polyester.
对，那球皮呢是用非常坚固的 nylon 尼龙或者是 polyester 聚酯纤维所制成的。
You can see nylon and polyester in your like Nike and Adidas clothes because they're good at like when you exercise. You can see that word in there a lot too.
对，所以你买衣服去看一下那个标签，就可以看到这2个英文字。
It is difficult to pull apart and doesn't burn easily.
那这个 polyester 或 nylon 呢，它们难以扯断，然后也不容易燃烧。
Let's continue to our next sentence here. The next part is the burner. And this is pretty easy.
所以刚刚第一个部分是 envelope， 第二个部分是 burner， 也就是下一个部分就是燃烧器。
That's right. So burn. How do you get burned? Well, maybe you touch fire and the burner makes a big flame. Now, 小心我的单词 here. So I said fire and flame. Fire, F-I-R-E, of course, this is uncountable. But fire, you can make countable when we call it a flame. F-L-A-M-E. Fire, a flame.
所以 flame 这个字也是火焰，但通常我们用 flame 这个字的时候，我们前面会加a flame。
Let's continue to our next sentence. Typically or usually made of metal, this part is used to heat the air inside the envelope to make the balloon rise.
那 burner 这个部分呢，通常是由金属制成的被用于加热球皮里面的空气，然后让这个气球可以升空。
小心 heat, don't forget 这个 EA 法唱义 heat 不是 hot the air inside the envelope.
Heat.
而且 to make the balloon rise. 不要说 make the balloon to rise. Make, let 这两个动词不可以用这个 verb to verb. Make 之后你就是加一个原形动词，不可以 verb 加 s, 不要加 ed, ing. make 之后就是 base form verb。
对，所以 make 我们会说它是实义动词哦，所以实义动词后面直接接原形动词就好啦。
Let's continue to our next sentence. The third part is the basket.
那第三个部分呢，就是这个 basket 藤篮。
This is where the people stand.
那这就是人们站立的地方啦。
Or if you're French, this is where your chicken, your rooster, your duck, and your sheep fly.
对，这就是那个三个动物站的地方。
I really like that when they picked the animals, the first living things in a hot air balloon were a rooster, a duck, and a sheep. And I like that they thought carefully about these three animals because it just feels like they're just like
randomly.
Yeah, doesn't it? It just feels like the same thing, right? But I like that they're like, well, roosters and ducks are birds, but they're not the same. And sheep are a lot like people. And Minnie's like, really? But yeah. In the past, like when scientists wanted to study something, they'll use sheep a lot. The sheep were easy to... They're big, they're kind of heavy.
Maybe that's the reason why, like, 桃莉羊, do you know that one? It's
I don't know this. No, I don't know what this is.
就是一个复制羊啊。
I don't know specifically. All I know is that in the past, sheep were like animals to operate on. Like when you wanted to study like what was the body like, you could use like, just like we don't test medicine on people usually. We test them on mice first.
No, we test it on people now.
But I mean like much later, right? Much later. All right, let's look at our next sentence here. The basket is usually made of light and flexible wood, such as wicker or rattan.
OK, 所以这边呢，藤篮通常呢，他说是由轻巧可弯曲的木材制成的，例如像柳条或者是藤条。
这个单词这边 rattan. Maybe you'll hear people say rattan. Like I grew up saying rattan, and I double check this, and the dictionary is saying something different. I will tell you, 它不是原本的英文 So your accent, 你的口音会影响这个字。
Yeah, rattan 是 rattan 都可以吧。
Do you have any wicker or rattan furniture in your house?
Yes.
It's good in Taiwan, right?
No.
No?
No, it's not good in Taiwan because Taiwan is very humid and wet. So it actually gets moldy a lot.
Oh, see, I thought because there's no like cloth, it won't mold as much. I don't really know. I come from a very dry place, so I don't understand like...
Everything molds in
Everything's
Taiwan.
so wet. It's crazy. I'm still not used to that.
Yeah.
So, okay. I bet you these balloons mold a lot. They have to like really be careful, right?
Yeah.
Because they're so big. They're huge. All right, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we got paragraph 2. All right, friends, we're back with more Enjoy English School. We're on day 2. We're on pages 10 and 11. It's the Taiwan International Balloon Festival. So, Minnie, in 1982, the year I was born, there was this guy, and he wanted to fly to the desert, but he's weird. So, he gets 45 big balloons, and he sits in a light chair, and he starts to fly away.
Really?
And I'm dead serious about this. I remember reading about this as a little kid, and he flies up in the sky, and he hopes the wind can blow him to the desert. But he just keeps flying up and up and up and up. He flies to 4,800 meters, and he says this is probably pretty bad. He's just sitting in a chair, nothing else. So he says, how do I get down? Well, he takes out his BB gun, and he slowly pops balloons, and he safely lands on the earth.
Ooh la la! What an adventure.
What a weird thing to do, right?
Yeah, I feel like when I was a kid, maybe at one point I wanted to do this as well.
4,800 meters, dude. That's
4,800 meters.
That's 16,000 feet.
Yeah.
That's super high. It must have been freezing cold.
4,800公尺啊，一层楼3公尺. No way, really?
I reread the story because I wanted to know how high he flew, and they said 16,000 feet. I don't think he brought like a ruler and checked, right? But maybe they described what the air was like. I don't know. So the newspaper article I read was 16,000 feet, which is 4,800
And then
meters.
he survived.
100%. So this guy, people that, I don't know, I don't want to say too much. But I will say, if you think this is a great idea, you're probably crazy enough to try it. Most reasonable people say don't do this. Hey, let's go.
Unless you're like the main character in Up.
That's actually what I wrote. Like, this is kind of like what the old guy did. I wonder if Pixar didn't think of this guy when they made that movie. Because people really can do this. All right. Hot air balloons are truly full of hot air.
哈哈，所以他说热气球确实充满了 hot air 热气。
Now, you laughed when you said full of hot air because this has a second meaning, right? This means you are a liar, you exaggerate, you're a bull pooper, but don't say the nice poo-poo, say the SH word, okay?
Yeah.
So, you're full of hot air, you're full of... Shh. That's right. If you know what the next word is, that's really good English. He's full of hot air is a polite way to say this word. He's full of poo-poo.
Yeah.
The pilot uses the burner to control the temperature or temperature of the air inside the envelope.
所以飞行员他会用燃烧器控制球皮里面空气的温度。
Temperature is a tricky word to say.
Temperature.
You should practice saying it. I say temperature. I don't say that ER naturally. But I do notice I try to pay attention to other people, and they like to say temperature. Okay,
I think I say temperature.
Let's continue. If the pilot increases the flame and heats more air, the balloon will rise higher.
所以飞行员呢，他如果增大火势，加热更多的空气，那这个热气球就会升得更高。
That's right. It'll just go up high in the sky because hot air is lighter, has more energy, it flies away.
Yep.
However, the pilot cannot really control which direction the balloon flies because the balloon is pushed by the wind.
那然而呢，飞行员无法真正的控制气球飞行的方向，因为呢，气球会被风吹动嘛。
That's right. This is just like a balloon you have in your hand and you let go. It's going to fly away by itself.
Yeah.
When the French guys were testing their first balloons, they thought they might be able to control it and they tried different ways. There was actually a guy that tried to steer it like a boat. Like he had like paddles and he
Steering the air.
Yeah, he's like trying to like shift it. Fans obviously didn't work in the past because, well, number one, they didn't have electric fans and those are heavy. I bet those might work a little bit, but you generally just have a big string holding you on the ground.
Yeah.
Let's continue to our next sentence. This means that a pilot must understand the wind conditions for that day and pay attention to the weather.
Yeah, 所以这意味着飞行员必须了解当天的风况，而且要注意天气。
That's right. Please remember that must is a modal verb. Are pretty special. They don't use the word to before and after them. 所以我们不可以说 This means that a pilot to must 还是 must to 这个都是错。Modal verbs don't use the word to. 在 modal verb 之后 you just use your verb.
所以就跟昨天 make 实义动词也是一样，就是英文里面有一些字它有一些特性。那昨天的 make 后面的动词要用原形动词嘛，这边 must 也是一样 must do something, must understand 中间不需要再加任何东西了。
That's right. We won't say he must does his homework. That's wrong. 不可以 verb 加 s. Let's continue here. Then anyone can enjoy a fun, breathtaking ride in a hot air balloon.
然后呢，任何人都可以享受一场有趣又壮观的热气球旅行。
When we say something is breathtaking, 不是 breathe, 呼吸, this is breath, this is 你呼吸的当一个 noun, so it's your breath. And then taking, this means something is very shocking, yes, or surprising, usually in a good way, usually in a good way.
有一件是中文讲，我们就是美到让你忘记呼吸，把你的那一口气拿走那种感觉，所以就是 breathtaking 通常是指壮观的意思。
If it's bad, we might say shocking.
Shocking.
And one thing we should pay attention to is our verb. We ride in hot air balloons. In Chinese, we like to say play a lot, but foreigners don't like to say this. It sounds strange. We don't play roller coasters. We don't play rides. We ride things.
所以在这边 ride 我们通常会说 ride 脚踏车啊 ride 机车，但是不要忘记哦，这边的 hot air balloon 这热气球我们是用 ride 这个动词。
That's right. Let's look at our next sentence here. To see these amazing balloons floating in the sky, check out the Taiwan International Balloon Festival this year in Taidong.
那这边的 to see 它其实就是 in order to see 你如果为了想要看这个令人惊叹的热气球升空的话，就去看看今年台东的台湾国际热气球嘉年华吧。
So the average Thanksgiving parade balloon. So every year on Thanksgiving, that's 11月的第4个星期四, there's always a very big parade. And they have these really big hot air balloons. They look like famous cartoon characters. There's a Pikachu, there's a Mario, 加菲猫. And they weigh 300 pounds. That's 149 kilograms each. And I didn't know why I didn't know this. I was like, well, 这个应该就是要飞走, right? Really easily, right? Well, if your balloon weighs 149 pounds, 149 kilograms, then you need 149 kilograms of people to hold it.
149公斤.
Because it rises 149 kilograms, you need 149 kilograms pulling down. Why does that feel like amazing to me? Like, I could hold this. And then I fly away, right?
Yeah. And then you'll fly away. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye, Chris. So, all right, with that, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we got vocab review. All right, friends, we're back with vocab review. And our first word is a noun, a portion.
部分就叫 portion. 我们也可以说它是 part. P-A-R-T, part.
That's right. We could make it a verb to portion, to cut into little pieces.
Yeah.
Number 2, to pull apart.
Pull apart 就是扯断的意思. Pull apart.
Some students think pull is really hard to say.
Pull.
Listen, it just sounds like the word apple. If you can say apple, you can say pull. This is an easy word.
I think P-U-L-L and P-O-L-E are kind of
pull. Yeah, pull, long O, pull. But just think apple. When I teach students pull, they do say it wrong. I'm like, can you say apple? Apple. There you go. 不要说你讲完.
pull.
Pull. There you go. Apple, pull. There you go. Number 3, flexible.
Flexible 呢，就是代表是有弹性的、可弯曲的，我们就叫 flexible.
The opposite of flexible is stiff.
Stiff.
S-T-I-F-F. Number 4, to be full of.
To be full of 就代表说充满了什么东西。So hot air balloon are full of hot air 就是充满的。
Number 5, a flame.
Flame 就是火焰。
Number 6, a flame also can be like your girlfriend also. So be careful. Oh, she's my flame.
Ah.
Yeah. So she's my flame. There you go.
Sounds a little rude, but...
It's a little old-fashioned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it usually means like a strong love.
Oh.
Number 6, to pay attention to.
Pay attention to 就代表说你要注意。
You know this.
Notice.
Pay attention. Number 7, a ride.
A ride 这边的 ride 呢，我们是当名词，就代表说一个旅程，一个搭乘。
Number 8, to float.
Float 就是漂浮的意思。
漂浮, just like on the water. All right, with that, we're done with enjoying the school, but we'll be back later this month with another story.
Yeah.
And I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Minnie.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.